storekeeper come out yelling at me. Get off your ass, get on your feet. Gotta hit the road, gotta hit the street. You gotta move on, you gotta move on, you gotta move on, you gotta move on. I said, no, it's like to nowhere to go, nothing to eat, nothing to show. I must walk 5 miles a day, and when I sit down, this is what they say. Say, gotta move on, you gotta move on. Well, I got no home, but I gotta move along. Well, I'm hanging in the coffee shop, I'm waiting for my feet to thaw. I just want some company. When the man, he says to me, he says, you gotta move on, yo, you gotta move on, yo, gotta move on, yo, gotta move on. You know it's like to sleep on the street, look 16, 16, 17 degrees. Say, how would you feel if you and me? Says, I'm not, then I'm back out on the street. I gotta move on, yeah, gotta move on. I got no home, but I gotta move along. Coffee shop. Been a long time since coffee was hot. Midnight cowboy seen the movie. Rats on Joe, but kinda groovy. But had to move on. You gotta move on. Yeah, you gotta move on. Gotta move on. Go to Miami, be there instead. Time I get to Miami, I might be dead. I just like to drink a beer. Hey, watch out, man, I'm walking here. I gotta move on. Yeah, I gotta keep on. I gotta move on. Downtown in the city shelter, 'cause I heard that I might get some help there, but the doors are closed and the signs are sorry. I guess no one's got an open door here, but I gotta move on. Well, I gotta move on, I gotta move on, I gotta move on. My friend Billy said, come here, said something about an inheritance. Seems I'm heir to $1 million, and now everybody wants to treat me like their brother. I gotta move on, yo, gotta move on. I said I gotta move on, gotta move on, gotta move on, but gotta move on. You got no home, you gotta move on.